This is an overview of the Applying Scientific Knowledge, or the ASK program, in the College of Science and Math here at Wright State University. I am the director of the ASK program. My name is Meredith Rogers. I am also a lecturer in the Biological Sciences Department, so if you end up with any questions or would like more information about the program, then please feel free to contact me. My information will be again at the end of this presentation. So what is the ASK program? The ASK program is an experiential learning program here in the College of Science and Math, and it focuses on undergraduate research. Now, we already have some undergraduate research opportunities here on campus, and the ASK program is meant to build upon what we already have to help expand our opportunities for our students. Some of the outcomes that are positive that come from undergraduate research include reinforcing what students are learning in class, also increasing student retention within the majors as well as at Wright State on a whole. Also career development. Students who get into undergraduate research have different experiences than their peers do who do not participate, and this can often help them to hone where their career goals are going, where they're actually going to focus, what they're going to do after their bachelor's degrees. And this also then subsequently helps to recruit students into STEM fields by giving them these research experiences. This also increases the interactions between faculty and students. Many times in courses, students don't get a lot of close interaction with faculty due to the size of the courses. So by giving them these smaller undergraduate research opportunities, they get close interaction with faculty and get to develop those relationships and have sort of a mentor relationship with these faculty members. It also increases confidence in students. Students get to fail in a situation where it's safe to fail. For most students, if they fail in their coursework, it results in a bad grade. And as we know with most of science, science usually doesn't work the first, the second, the third, or more times after that. That's a learning experience for students that for them, failure is not an end point, that it's something that's expected in research, and it's a learning experience, how you learn from what you fail at, and then picking yourself back up and keep moving forward past that failure to figure out how you can then succeed at some point. So what we have in COSM is some struggles with our undergraduate research, where we can go with it. We are limited in what we can do with our research. One of our limitations is when we catch our students. Most students that participate in undergraduate research are juniors and seniors. We do catch some earlier on, but most of the time they are juniors and seniors, pretty set in their career goals, in their tracks, and if at the point they do research and decide to make a change, they already have possibly 2 or even 3 years of courses under their belt. So making that change is a lot harder at that point. Also, we have only a certain number of faculty in COSM and only a certain number of faculty that have enough funding to take on students. So these are some things that the ASK program is actually addressing to try to help us expand our ability to give our undergrads more opportunities to have undergraduate research experiences here within the College of Science and Math. So what is the ASK program doing? We are catching students early. We are promoting the program during their freshman year. So when students first come in, even during Raider Open House, we are passing out flyers about the ASK program so that students are aware of it. Students are eligible for the ASK program as soon as they are admitted to their COSM major. So this would be direct admits, and this would also be students who at the end of their freshman year finish their prereqs and then can transition into the ASK program, which would start that next fall. We are also doing something different with projects. Instead of one mentor with one student, we are looking at, yes, still one mentor to student, one student, but also the possibility of teams of students, which we have successfully done now with the ASK program. We are finishing out our first cycle, our first full year of the ASK program, and we do have a team project where there are 3 students all working on the same project. This has some advantages. Not only are we getting more students into research this way, but you have a team of students all working towards the same common goal. So not only is it more hands working to get the same end result, but these students can collaborate together. So together, when they hit bumps in the road, they can together try to figure out what's going on, why is it not working, and maybe come up with solutions among themselves that might be different than just one student trying to figure it out on their own. So that does give some advantages to the students, that they can work with their peers who are all trying to get to that same end result. They all have the same motivation. We also would welcome projects by teams of faculty. We have a team faculty project also running right now. There are 3 faculty heading up the same project. This gives students access to multiple faculty members and have that mentoring relationship with different people all at the same time. We are also providing funding. So through the ASK program, when a PI submits a project proposal to the ASK program, in that proposal, they can request up to $2,500 in funds from the ASK program for that project. Then the committee meets and will award funding to the ASK program projects based on the projects that we do have. So each project is eligible for up to $2,500 in funding. We also are offering summer fellowships. Now summer, I'll show you the layout of the ASK program. Summer is optional for students. This is also something, though, in your proposal you can state that the project may have to run over summer if that is something that is needed. In the summer, students can apply for fellowships. The fellowships provide 12 weeks of stipend for students at 28 hours of work a week. Plus, each student that gets a stipend is awarded $500 of extra money towards the project needs. Now, this funding can be used towards supplies. We've also awarded funding for student travel. So we have a student right now who is using that money to go to a national meeting. So some of her funding is going to cover some of those expenses. So that money can be used for some other things. If you have a team of students on your project, each student is eligible for a fellowship. This past group of students, we had 10 in our first round of the ASK program. We awarded 8 fellowships. One student did turn it down for a job opportunity over the summer, so we ended up awarding 7 fellowships. 3 of them went to a team, so each member on that team project had a fellowship, which was an extra $1,500 of supply money that was awarded towards that project. So, towards the benefits of the faculty, funding, which I just explained, you can get funding for your projects through the ASK program. These students also will be able to work on projects that could feed into other projects, whether these are projects for your graduate students or these are projects that would contribute toward grant applications or towards publications for you. So these are projects that can feed into other things in the lab. You'll also have access to highly motivated students. Our group that's starting this fall for our second round of the ASK program, we have 14 students. 11 of those 14 have a 3.5 GPA or higher. Many of those are a 4.0 GPA. So we are attracting very good, highly motivated students. Even those that might have a slightly lower GPA after their end of their first year. What the hope is with this type of program is immersing them into the college, showing them the cool things they get to do with their major, and then having them become more invested in their degree, bringing those grades up higher. So this is both twofold in how it's affecting GPAs. Other things that this program will do, it will recruit. Students talk to each other. So not only will it recruit students into undergraduate research, but it will help recruit you for your majors. Students talk about the cool things that are going on at Wright State. And if we have students who are freshmen and sophomores in these really cool things that are going on, they'll talk to their friends. And hopefully that will help recruit other students into your majors as well when they hear about all of the neat things going on that students can become involved with. Retention, again, keeping students in the majors because they become invested, because they become excited about what they get to do while they're at their major. It's not just coursework and studying. There's cool things that they actually get to do. Then what we're going to do is after the ASK program, when they finish, we are transitioning them into more research opportunities. So that could be staying with the PIs they've already established with the ASK program. So that PI could get 2.5 or more years out of these students of undergraduate research, or helping them then transition to other PIs, to internships, REUs, into other opportunities as well. So helping to continue to promote undergraduate research experiences, building on what we already have here. So what these projects are, how they're set up. We have, as I mentioned, single students with single PIs, single students with teams of PIs, teams of students with either single or teams of PIs. So we would welcome any combination of such. The teams of PIs could also be from a single department or even interdepartmental teams. Same with the students. The students may be from a single major or from multiple majors. Now, the way that we pair students to PIs, the PIs online can submit project proposals. So on the ASK program website, which will be up the 25th of August is what marketing is saying right now, you can submit a project proposal. In that proposal, you will have a short description of what your project is, the basic requirements, but you can also specify how many students you can take, whether that's 1, 2, 3, however many students you feel you can take, what your preferential majors are for your students, and then also if there's coursework that they may need. So say someone from chemistry, you may have a student that does need to have organic chemistry before coming in. Because we do have students who are direct admits that may have College Credit Plus or AP credits, we may have students who their freshman year did take organic. So there are those possibilities of having students that are a little further along in some of these other courses, and we can help pair off. The ASK program then will ask students what projects they're interested in. We then pair the students based on the projects they're interested in, as well as looking at what the faculty preferences are. We're not just going to stick a faculty member with students that don't fit what they need, or stick a physics major over in a neuroscience project and it's a fish out of water. So we're going to try to make sure that students are on projects that build upon what they're learning in their major, and faculty are getting students that have a background that is necessary for the type of work they're going to be doing. The way the program is laid out, students start in the fall term. In the fall term, they will take what's called SM21, Interdisciplinary Scientific Inquiry. It's a broad survey course of research, everything from reading scientific papers, keeping laboratory notebooks, mathematical modeling, experimental design, writing in science. It's a very broad-based course that would be good for anyone going into research. During that fall term, we also show the students the proposals from faculty. So all faculty proposals need to be in about mid-October is about when I would need proposals. I do have a sheet I can send out that does have some better dates for you on it and has a list of dates of when we would need things from faculty. I will accept project proposals all year long, however, and we will bank them until the next round of students come in, and then we can start pairing students off to your project proposals. Then during the fall, they get paired with the projects, and then we will also award funds to those projects that have students on them. So during the fall term, faculty will then find out how many students they have, how much funding they have, and be able to then perhaps already start ordering and getting things set up for spring. Spring term, students start research. They take 3 credit hours of a research course, something like a 4990 course. We will have SM versions of these courses available. Unfortunately, they will not be available until spring term, until they get through the last step of the curriculum committee. But we do have SM courses available if there isn't one available in the major. Summer, as I mentioned, is optional. You can upfront say that you will need a student over summer, and they can know to plan ahead for that. Summer is also when they can get a paid fellowship, and you can apply for those during spring term. They may also take credit hours over the summer, and we will have SM flexible credit hour courses for the summer term, or they can take the 4990 courses again. During the fall, they come back and then they finish their ASK project. So they can get 2 to 3 terms of research, and then the initial fall term is a course. Over 4 years, how this looks for a traditional 4-year student is they would come in and finish their prereqs and get accepted to the ASK program their first year. They start the ASK program their sophomore year. They take in the fall the research methods course. Then they start their research in the spring with an optional summer. The third year, then they finish their research in the fall, and then we transition them out into more research. So this is good timing for things like honors programs, for just getting into other honors other research within departments, internships, REUs, all those other things. We will transition them out into more experiences after that. They may stay then with that mentor they're already established with, and since they're starting here in the spring, this is about 2.5 years of research that a single PI could get from a student. This program is built upon other established programs, so we have modeled it off of other programs that have been running in the country. The FRI at University of Texas, Austin has been running since 2005, so it's a 12-year-old program, and it is very well established. It's also very large. There's a good video about this on their website, and I would encourage you to go to these different websites and see how these programs are set up and the successes they have had. They've had successes with students, they've had successes in recruiting using these programs, and really retaining their students with these programs. Binghamton University has their freshman research immersion, and then there's the FIRE program at Maryland, the first year innovation and research experience. So all of these are nice established programs set up on this basic model of bringing students in early and right away throwing them into research and really getting them excited about science, that it's not just coursework that they're doing. Now this video is of the Freshman Research Initiative at the University of Texas of Austin. So this goes through a faculty perspective as well as a student perspective, and gives us some of the benefits and the outcomes that you see with these types of programs.
I get to do things that I didn't imagine I would be doing 3 years ago. I thought I was going to do what a normal college student does, go to classes, maybe get involved in research eventually. I started researching ways to grow switchgrass, which is a grass that is getting used as a source of biomass to produce biofuels, and now I'm researching about antibiotics. The Freshman Research Initiative accelerated the process of becoming a scientist. I go back home and I tell my parents, and sometimes they just cry. Like, they go like, you do such great things, and it's unthinkable. My name is Christy Bertalis, and I research antibiotics.
In 2005, we started with 15 students in each of 3 research groups, and the next year had 250 students in 7 different research groups. And now we're at over 700 students with over 25 different research groups.
Maybe the most important thing they get out of the FRI is they get to be scientists right away. And in the process, they're going to discover something that's unique, something nobody else on the planet has ever known about the universe before. That's why we do science.
Science is not this thing that you just, come in on a given morning and do some work and get the Nobel Prize. It is this thing where mostly there is failure upon failure upon failure, and students need to learn that experience of failing without it costing them their grade, without it costing them anything other than the realization that this is real science.
They get to do things that nobody else has done, and that's what really helps them decide, is this something that I love, is this something that I want to do, or is this something I can respect for the rest of my life? Freshmen don't know what they can't do.
This is, in fact, a very revolutionary program, and I mean that in every sense of the word, because we have streams in autonomous vehicles, robot cars, we have streams in gaming, we have streams in genomic engineering. It is incredible, all the things we do.
I'd always been interested in physics and astronomy in particular, and so when I heard about exploring the universe with white dwarf stars, and that's what grabbed me, I guess, When I first got to college, I think like almost every other bio major, I'm gonna be pre-med, that's what I wanna do, wanna be a doctor. And once I got into a lab and was doing work, I realized how much I actually had a passion for the research part of science.
It's awesome to be 18 and just a freshman at the university and involved in such a cool project as this, where I get to mess with robots and teach them how to do things.
I went to do a medical mission trip, and that kind of struck my heart, and I really wanted to do something related to infectious diseases.
If you had asked me my senior year of high school that in 2 years I'd be doing top-of-the-line, cutting-edge research in astrophysics, I would have called you a liar.
I've been at UT anyway for 30 years, and you might ask, does it get stale? And the answer is no, and the reason it doesn't get stale is because of the kids.
I really believe that all education is self-education, and so all I really want are students that are excited enough to go and learn for themselves. And I can guide them and direct them, and I can, save them some time, but mostly I'm looking for them to come in and be excited. And if they do that, the rest is easy.
The amount of different work that's done at UT is tremendous. So if I wanted to do literally anything, I could do it. That's what thrilled me the most. The fact that there's so many things being done at the same place, and that they're just there. If you ask, you can do it.
When you get cynical and you look at the newspaper and you think, oh, there's no hope for our country or our planet, and then you look at these kids and it's different. And the FRI program gives these students a chance to succeed at a level that affects not only the University of Texas and the state of Texas, but affects our country and the world. We're cultivating genius, and that's essential for our survival on this planet.
So this is a list of current projects in the ASK program. So these are projects that are from the first cohort of students. All but 2 of these are actually running right now and are finishing up this fall. So as I mentioned, we've had a successful first year through this program. One of these projects is a team project, which I mentioned. It has 3 students on that project. We also have one that's headed by 3 PIs. The rest of these are 1 student paired with 1 PI. So we can do multiple combinations of things. Only 2 projects out of this whole list are not running right now, but we've had multiple projects run through and are being completed. So if you do have questions, please feel free to let me know. My name again is Meredith Rogers. My email is there. I'm over in Brem Lab. The website will be live here shortly with all of the updated information. There's not a lot on our old website. The new one will be much more expansive. So it will be wright.edu/ask. We're on the COSM website under the research section. If you would like to apply to be a mentor, even if you don't have projects right now but are interested at some point in being involved in the ASK program, I can send you a link to be a mentor. That will also be up on the website as well. And it will just save your information as someone who is interested in the ASK program. If you do have projects you would like to submit for proposals, we will need project proposals for this next cohort by the 2nd week of October. So if you would like to submit a project proposal, I can also send you a link now, or in another week and a half, the website will be live and have that link up there as well for project proposals. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know.